Oh. What? What? Good damage? Oh no. Today we're going to be using the best Armor Rouge NDD team from the Oceania International Championship with Alfredo Gonzalez getting top 8 at the International, featuring some pretty interesting techs with a hyper offensive mode and the Tera Psychic Hydreigon. I'm curious to see if it will come to play. Let us find out and see how it goes. This team features Side Spam with hyper offensive capabilities. You have multiple strong modes with the Iron Bundle, Great Tusk, and Flutter Mane fast offensive mode, and then you have the NDD Armor Rouge Trick Room mode that players have to respect. You can be able to force your opponent to weaken themselves handling one mode while being cleaned up by the other. The glue of these two modes having synergy is the Hydreigon that can Tailwind support on the final turn of Trick Room, or with the fast offensive mode to overwhelm the opponent. The Tera Psychic allows you to resist fighting moves and walls Great Tusk, help against Iron Hands, and make you neutral to fairy type moves from opposing Flutter Mane and Iron Bundle attacks to set up the Tailwind. You have many strong lead combinations such as Iron Bundle Flutter Mane, NDD with Armor Rouge or Flutter Mane, Great Tusk and Hydreigon, and many more. If you would like to check out the creator or the details of the team, they will be in the description. Volcarona, Amoonguss, Iron Hands, Kingambit, Flutter Mane, and a Gyarados. Okay, the Gyarados is a little bit interesting right here, but overall, Psychic matchup, it looks like their Psychic type matchup would be generally the Volcarona. I'm assuming it's either, I'd say it's Quiver Dance on this team. It might be Struggle Bug, but I do think if you have a Amoonguss, it'd be more likely you're going to be the Quiver Dance set because you don't, like Volcarona Rage Powder support is kind of very similar to the Amoonguss right here. So let's see. I would like to go, Kingambit's a little bit scary. I do have my Great Tusk, but they actually have a Gyarados, which is a Pokemon you don't really see, but it does actually really threaten me in this case here. I wish I had Power Gem on the Flutter Mane, as Power Gem would have been really nice for this matchup specifically. I think Kingambit has to lead here because of the Psychic type mode. Maybe Kingambit Volcarona going to be leading here potentially. It would be Kingambit Volcarona. I like Hydreigon lead quite a bit. I actually like the Tailwind mode more than the Psychic type mode. So I think I'm going to go with like Hydreigon plus the... I think the Great Tusk is a pretty decent lead here. And then in the back, I like the Flutter Mane and the Iron Bundle, because normally Flutter Mane Iron Bundle would be a great lead here generally in an offensive case. But when there's a Kingambit, I don't really like any of the leads that involve the Armor Rouge NDD or the Iron Bundle Flutter Mane. So I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try like getting up Tailwind because they don't have really much speed control. I also have safety goggles on the Hydreigon, which is nice to avoid the Amoonguss right here. I wonder what they're going to bring. I'm expecting Kingambit, Volcarona, Gyarados, and maybe one other Pokemon. I don't know if Amoonguss will be brought here, but just in case, Kingambit, Amoonguss, this is a pretty decent lead for me because I do have Taunt on my Great Tusk here. And I don't really mind it though. Like, I have a few things I could go for. Just like a Dark Pulse is very nice into Amoonguss immediately, and just protecting turn 1 is very solid here, I think. Because I would like to scout for Tera potentially. I don't know. I feel like you just always target Great Tusk here. With the Kingambits, if you have the Tera Blast, you could go for it. You could also just go for the Spore. There's quite a few options. I like trying to get rid of this Amoonguss as quickly as possible, but I am just going to go for Protect with the Great Tusk here and Dark Pulse. Just for the chip damage, let's see how much we can do right here. So we are going to go for a Dark Pulse. Ooh, the Kingambit has Protect, so it's not Solve. Good to note here. So I think this is a really good Dark Pulse right here, because this is probably Spore into the Kingambit slot. So Dark Pulse, some pretty solid damage across the board. We are going to see the Spore come out into the Great Tusk right here. So this is really nice. Also, it's probably not Tera Blast then, or Tera Flying Tera Blast, because they do have a Gyarados, which makes sense here. I do think I would switch out the Kingambit if I was them. It doesn't really do much in this situation. Maybe a Gyarados play makes a lot of sense here, and maybe the Amoonguss goes for the Spore once again. If this is not Mental Herb, I would really like to go for the Taunt right here, and I think I'm going to attempt it right here. We're going to see the Kingambit retreat. Yep, this should be Gyarados. Or Volcarona, that works too. Volcarona's a little bit weird because I want to Snarl the Volcarona, yet yeah, this is going to be a little bit weird. Okay, so it wasn't Citrus Berry. It might be Mental Herb. I was thinking it might be Citrus Berry on this team. Let's see. Nice, it's not Mental Herb. Okay, so maybe Covert Cloak? That's really good for me. I like the idea of just going for a Snarl into the Volcarona and the Amoonguss slot, and I really like the idea of going for a potential close combat right here, or a Headlong Rush. I like the Headlong Rush more. There could be Gyarados, but Gyarados doesn't really threaten me. So I think I'd rather just go for a Headlong Rush. It also would probably just nuke the King Gambit right here if they try to switch out on a King Gambit, which I definitely could see here. So I think they might try to go King Gambit and greet this. Yep, exactly. Cool. Although close combat, I don't know. I don't think you live Headlong Rush, but if I'm wrong, I am very wrong here. We are able to get Snarl on Volcarona. It's not Covert Cloak, which is nice. We do lower that special attack on the King Gambit, give it Defiant, but it's all right here. This should be a Headlong Rush KOing. There is the Quiver Dance. I'm not too surprised here. Perfect. Okay, this is looking really, really solid right here. And I mean really, really solid, okay? And Headlong Rush into the King Gambit, which is able to pick up the knockout. So, beautiful. I did try to catch the King Gambit because they probably thought, oh, I could Dark Pulse the Amoonguss, pick up the knockout. Let me go into King Gambit. But catching that was way more valuable to me. Volcarona reveals its leftovers, okay? I do have to watch out because Volcarona is actually very scary. So I do have to actually be concerned about it. Flutter Mane going to come in. Okay. So Flutter Mane is not too surprising. This could be Heat Wave and a Dazzling Gleam. I don't know if I survive that with the Hydreigon. If I go for the Tera right here. It is neutral Heat Wave. They are definitely going to go for Dazzling Gleam this turn. I'm going to go for a Tailwind right here. And I'm going to go for a Protect attempt right here. And I think this is pretty safe overall. If they go for a... If they do knock out the Hydreigon... Like, I go for an Icy Wind with Iron Bundle and then Headlong Rush, and I'm, like, in a very safe position. So I think regardless, this should be a safe one. So let's see if I am right. So we'll bring out the Tera Psychic Hydreigon here, specifically to not be super effective to that Dazzling Gleam that they do have from the Flutter Mane. We're going to see Quiver Dance once again. Oh, that's even perfect. So I should never be going down here, okay? Very nice. And what does the Flutter Mane do? We also get to gauge like what item the Flutter Mane is. Moonblast. Okay, perfect. So Hydreigon takes that really well, and Tailwind is set up. Okay, so that should be like Focus Sash on the Flutter Mane, I think, because it just did like no damage to me. All right, the only problem is the Volcarona is boosted. I have like no idea how fast the Volcarona is. I would really like to be able to nuke it right here. So I'm going to go for a Snarl, lower the damage output of their team, and Headlong Rush into the Volcarona. They might just double protect here if they have double protect, but they also just protected the Flutter Mane and not the Volcarona, which I had a suspicion that they could go for as well. Because the Volcarona should be in a safer position. And nice. My Hydreigon's faster than the Volcarona. Good critical hit. That might matter because I might be able to KO the Volcarona with the Headlong Rush afterward. Heat Wave going to come out. Perfect. Okay. Ooh, that Hydreigon would have survived. Very nice. Here comes the Headlong Rush into the Volcarona. Goodbye, Volcarona. And this is an amazing position because I think we just seal up the game now with our Iron Bundle combined with Flutter Mane right here. Should be super safe. I think I double into the Flutter Mane. If they go for a... Let's see if they go for a Rage Powder, I still win the game, I think, overall. And if they go for a double protect Spore and they get it off, that's all right, I think. So let's just go for the Headlong Rush and a Snarl. And nice, we are able to secure the game. Tera Psychic Hydreigon, very, very nice being able to take that Moonblast extremely well. Getting like pretty much every read right for the most part. Like I think the only wrong read was like the double Quiver Dance right there, but overall was able to be in such an amazing position. No Gyarados I thought was surprising, but very, very strong. I think I was just able to keep up offensive momentum, which is how you play offense, and yeah, put myself in a really great spot overall. Screamtail, Mousehold, Iron Hands, Arcanine, Sylveon, Tyranitar. What's the Screamtail doing on this team? Encore Disable stuff? I'm trying to figure out. Maybe it's a Trick Room variant. I mean, this could be a Trick Room team. Yeah, I could definitely see it being a Trick Room, I suppose. All right, what am I leading here? I definitely want to put Great Tusk Pressure because Great Tusk does do a lot of damage to my opponent in general. Psychic Combination, maybe? I mean, I think it's probably like Great Tusk Flutter Mane here. It's probably like Great Tusk Flutter Mane. The damage output I have is probably really incredible. And then in the back, probably Entity and the Armarouge. I would like Hydreigon if it wasn't for a double Fairy, and I don't want to tear the Hydreigon to Psychic because it doesn't help me against the Tyranitar. Iron Bundle could have been brought, but I don't think it's that great against this team. My only concern is like, what is that Mousehold set? Because if it's Population Bomb with Technician, it's actually pretty threatening. Although most of them are just Friend Guard, so I'd imagine it's just Friend Guard on this team. And if it's Friend Guard, a lot easier to handle because we'll easily live Population Bomb. Screamtail Mousehold. Okay, yeah, I had a suspicion it was something like this. So it looks like it is going to be the Trick Room stuff. Booster energy for its... Wait, its speed. Okay. That's unique here. I'll say that much. I'm going to go for Headlong Rush into the Mousehold, and I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam here. They probably double protect, I imagine. Okay, we're going to see a Tera immediately. I didn't figure out what this is. Okay, Screamtail Teras. Tera flying. Okay. I didn't target that slot. This could be protect from Mousehold, though. Okay. Oh. What? What? Get damage? Oh, no. Oh, great Tusk. I need to hang on. Oh, no. This is bad. Okay, wait. No, maybe not. They did have to commit their Tera immediately. On a positive note. I'm going hard NDD. I feel like... How Screamtail? What the heck? They create some fun stuff here. I'm gonna follow me in Dazzling Gleam, I think. This could be disable Screamtail. Protect. Follow me. Is this disable? Oh, Psychic Fangs. Okay. It's so much easier to handle. Okay. All right. Also, I guess like that would have probably KO'd my Flutter Mane now that I think about it. So here comes a Dazzling Gleam. All right. We get some chip. We're going to follow me again. We're going to go for a Dazzling Gleam. What the heck, man? Okay. We're in this game. It's really tough to say we are, but we are in this game somehow. Looks like they don't have Protect on the Screamtail, so I should be getting a double knockout here, which is nice. Play rough, okay. Doesn't do that much to Entity, even at +1 because it's Screamtail. Here comes a Dazzling Gleam. Going to be able to finish off. Okay. We have chances. We have chances. Screamtail eliminated. So Tyranitar should be in the back. I'm still trying to recover for the fact that that actually happened here. Sylveon, okay, that's a good start. Tyranitar? Yeah, okay. Confusing for sure. Hyper Voice Rock Slide is probably picking up a knockout here, so we're gonna go for a Helping Hand with the Flutter Mane, and we're gonna go for a Dazzling Gleam here. Yeah, not much I can do because I can't really swap here, so pray that this works. Praying that this works here because I definitely need this. Maybe a Rock Slide dodge would help here a lot too. Okay, Tera on the Flutter Mane. This Dazzling Gleam with Helping Hand about to do a lot. Hopefully enough to Tyranitar where I actually can pick up a knockout here. Well, not knockout, but maybe Armor Cannon range because that's going to be really important. Okay, Tera Fairy, Helping Hand, Dazzling Gleam into Tyranitar, and the Sylveon. Oh, that KOs the Tyranitar. That's not even a critical hit. Oh, that's so good. Not losing to the Screamtail today. Not losing to the house Screamtail today. That was not a Solvus Tyranitar, was it? Because I'm pretty sure a Solvus Tyranitar would have literally survived that. I don't think it was, which is interesting because what do you run on Tyranitar that's not Solvus generally? Maybe it's Dragon Dance, but you know what? We take those. We take those. And if it was a Solvus, that's actually crazy. It's probably like a fast Tyranitar then, but oh, I thought it was over. I thought this was going to be like Howl disable Screamtail, but it was Play Rough Psychic Fangs Howl. I have no idea what the last move would be. But that Population Bomb is like, as long as it's not Population Bomb, but then it was Technician Population Bomb. It's like, oh, yeah, that's a problem. Mimikyu, Amoonguss, Hydreigon, Greytusk, Volcarona, and Goldengo. All right, this looks pretty scary. They have a Hydreigon, they have a Greytusk. There's a lot of Pokemon that aren't exactly super pleasant for me to deal with, but we'll try it. Psychic combination isn't amazing here, unfortunately. I don't think it is, at least. I want to go with Iron Bundle is really good here, so I think Icy Wind Iron Bundle is like a really good play here. Iron Bundle plus Hydreigon could be a play, or like just leading the Great Tusk isn't that bad. But I don't think... No, you're not leading a Moongus Golden Go into Psychic type combination. I'm going to lead the Flutter Mane plus Iron Bundle, I think, and then in the back, I'm going to go with the Great Tusk and the Hydreigon, which I think are pretty good effective tools to help out against my opponent's team. I like the idea of just Icy Wind putting on so much pressure, especially with like a Choice Specs attack right here. Should allow me to get some maybe a potential really good knockout. We'll find out. I don't know who I'm going to go for the Tera yet, because it's going to depend on like what they lead and like what I need to eliminate. So Mimikyu Volcarona, pretty solid for me here. I can go for Icy Wind Shadow Ball pretty safely here, and I do really like that actually. I don't know if the Mimikyu is Protect on this team. It could be. Yeah, they also got to be worried about me targeting the Volcarona slot. They just have very little defensive plays right here. So I'm going to go for an Icy Wind here for sure. Question is, am I Shadow Balling? Who am I Shadow Balling? I think it's okay to target down the Mimikyu slot. Because if it's the curse set, then I'm like really happy in this position, right? So I am able to get the Icy Wind off into the Volcarona and the Mimikyu. Mimikyu speed falls. Volcarona speed falls. Okay, so it's not Cobra Cloak. That's good for me. And I get a really powerful Shadow Ball off right here, so that's great. And no Shadow Sneak means no damage that I've taken. So goodbye Mimikyu, eliminated. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning right here. And then the Volcarona gonna go for a Quiver Dance? Struggle Bug. Okay, so that's their second type answer. That's actually really good it's not Quiver Dance, because no Quiver Dance makes it so much easier, because I don't have to worry about Volcarona being like a huge offensive threat now. Struggle Bug did do a lot of damage, but it's very manageable. All right. So this could be Hydreigon coming in. Dragon comes in. Yep. There's no way you click a dragon move into my Flutter Mane slot. This is where it can get tricky, I suppose. I kind of want to Icy Wind to always put the Hydreigon into range. Actually, I haven't Terra'd yet. I gotta figure this out. This could be a little bit concerning. I think I always Icy Wind, but if Hydreigon protects, then I'd rather just go for the Protect with Iron Bundle, because say my Flamethrower or Fiery Dance's slot. I think I always go into Hydreigon for Flutter Mane, because I always want to reset the special attack drop, and I want to like actually go for Dazzling Gleam the following turn. But we'll see. Bring out the Hydreigon. We're gonna see a Tera committed immediately, which I'm kind of surprised with, because maybe they did. Well, they didn't know I'm Specs, I guess, so that kind of makes sense. We're gonna see the Tera Electric. Okay. Kind of helps me out actually, so I'm okay with that. Icy Wind, cool. Yeah, this is really nice actually. This is really nice. All right. Tera Blast. This is in a bundle. No, they target down the Flutter Mane slot because they wanted the extra power. Okay, beautiful. Hydreigon really being a good switch in right there. Giga Drain makes sense to recover the health. All right, Volcarona is still a very big problem, but overall, Specs Shadow Ball is looking really scary for them. Or I could go for a Great Tusk here. I mean, I always like Flutter Mane here a lot. Electric Tera Blast Hydreigon is really interesting for bundle. I think Flutter Mane's it, because if I go out into Great Tusk, it's not so amazing for me. Yeah, I don't need to Gleam anymore. Something that really Gleam fixes anyway. I'm gonna Shadow Ball the Volcarona, I think. I could Shadow Ball Draco Meteor. That might KO the Volcarona. Because you're never... That might be worth it, actually. I am gonna try it. No Protect from the Hydreigon, but I'm not too surprised. Here comes the Shadow Ball and the Volcarona. Oh, that didn't do much, but the special defense drop's kind of huge. The Draco Meteor gonna come up and follow up KO the Volcarona, so that's really nice. I don't know, actually, if Draco Meteor might be stronger than the Choice Spec Shadow Ball, but I don't know. I think the Flutter Mane's probably more powerful. We'll see. Snarl. Okay, perfect. That's really good for me. That's extremely good for me. Okay. Because they didn't pick up a knockout, which is why I didn't want to go for the Tera of Hydreigon. Amoonguss gonna come in. Oh, beautiful. So all I have to do is eliminate this Amoonguss and I can win. Oh, I'm locked in. Yeah, Shadow Ball and Snarl. Yeah, just Snarl here. Because if they Draco Meteor, they lower their special attack by like 2 stages, and that's pretty bad for them. So I'm pretty happy about this position. They're going to be at -1 special attack. They're at -1 speed already. This is probably a Solvest Hydreigon. Shadow Ball going to come out in the Amoonguss. We're going to need some chip. Decent chip. Snarl. Lower that special attack on that Hydreigon. That is Solvest Hydreigon that actually I really want to try. It looks super cool. Oh, it looks like it's Cobra Cloak Amoonguss. Okay. This is probably a Spore coming out into Fluttermane. Yep, Spore into Fluttermane. That makes sense. The thing is, they're slowly taking the knockout into Fluttermane. Should I go for another Snarl and Hydreigon? I'm trying to think about like whether the Amoonguss should be into range already. We already know it's Covert Cloak because it didn't get affected by my Snarl. Oh no, wait, no, it did get affected by Snarl. I guess I just missed the animation. Okay, no, I just keep clicking Snarl over and over again. Fluttermane going to take his first turn of sleep. They're probably going to Spore my Hydreigon, or they're going to Pollen Puff their own Hydreigon, but I don't really see a point of them Pollen Puffing their Hydreigon because it's already pretty healthy. I'm just waiting for the Great Tusk to come in. Parablast into the Fluttermane for more offensive pressure. Okay. That means they probably went for the Spore, which is perfect. They crit me, which is cool. Okay. Oh, wait, that wasn't a crit? Wow, wait. Wasn't that -2 Hydreigon? Or is the Hydreigon Cover Cloak and that's what I missed a special attack drop or drop on? Okay, Great Tusk. No, they were at -2. I'm surprised that KO'd. I'm very shocked that KO'd. Okay. I'm going to Protect here. I want to scout for the Amoonguss Protect. And I'm just going to Snarl. I don't have to Tailwind because their Hydreigon is at -1 or -1 speed. Protect the Great Tusk here because I want to scout for the Amoonguss Protect. If they do, they don't. Okay, so another Snarl. I get a critical hit on the Amoonguss. That's nice, but not necessary. Just keep lowering that special attack. Snarl Hydreigon is just really good into like the Psychic types and I guess opposing other stuff. They go for Dragon Pulse. Okay. On a KO. And they Spore attempts the Great Tusk. Okay. I mean, I Headlong Rush the Amoonguss, and I think I keep going for Snarl because if they protect Amoonguss, then I just pick up the knockout. They're also going to be at like -4, so I don't think the Dragon Pulse is two-shotting here. I don't need the Tera on my Great Tusk, so I might as well just Tera my Hydreigon in case they go for a Dragon Pulse into the Hydreigon slot again. Because like Tera Ground doesn't change anything for my... Actually, Tera Ground would make it worse for me because I'm vulnerable to Dark Pulse. So yeah, it's just better to go for the Tera on the Hydreigon at this point because they're not going to Snarl to pick up the knockout. They're going to Dragon Pulse the slot to pick up a knockout. Yeah, if the Amoonguss protects, that makes sense to me. Okay. I have to dodge 1 crit probably. Snarl. Okay. -4 Hydreigon. A long rush into Protect. I could have close combated the... Maybe I should have close combat the Hydreigon because it's probably a Solvest and we could have just finished off the game that way, but I just don't see this Dragon Pulse doing near... Yeah, it's like doing nearly enough. I am risking a crit though, so... Close combat is technically the better play because they might go for a double Protect with Amoonguss. They might Rage Powder too, but if they Rage Powder, I should be able to pick up the knockout. Yeah, okay, perfect. I crit the Hydreigon, but I think close combat was enough to finish off the Hydreigon at that point. So I do 100% seal the game with this. So goodbye Hydreigon. And now I think we win the game. Yeah. I don't think the Snarl crit matters. The close combat should be easily doing at least a little bit above 50%. And if it didn't KO, then I just go for a Snarl the next turn unless they side Pollen Puff. But if they side Pollen Puff, then I just close combat again, right? So they do sport a Great Tusk, but overall... this game's over because the Amoonguss cannot do any damage and it can't recover. It's done. It's so little health remaining. And we're just going to go for Dark Pulse and we have chances to flinch because we've already lowered special attack. And the game is sealed. Tera Electric Hydreigon is really cool. I really do like that set. I do kind of want to test it out now, but very nice being able to pick up the victory right there with just Hydreigon being able to snarl down their team and Icy Wind getting some Gained a good Mimikyu knockout, gained a knockout Volcarona, and then trapping these Pokemon into where they couldn't really do much. Ooh, why do I feel like I recognize this team? But there is an Arcanine, Amoonguss, Iron Jugulus, Palafin, Fluttermane, and Garganacl. Okay. There's some scary factors. The Iron Jugulus is actually a little bit weird depending on its Tera type. So that's going to be one thing I have to be cautious about. Palafin, I'm not really too concerned because I have Psychic Terrain and they don't have a really, I think, a way to remove it here. The Iron Bundle is probably really good here. Yeah, it's a little bit complicated. I do really like the Fluttermane lead. The Fluttermane lead is really good. I don't know if I want to lead Fluttermane. Plus, I think Fluttermane leads. I just don't know if I want to do it with the Great Tusk or if I want to do it with Iron Bundle, because Iron Bundle Icy Wind is really good into their opposing Fluttermane, and it could be really solid into that. I think what I would want to do is I'm gonna have Fluttermane Iron Bundle lead. I think this is okay, and then have the Great Tusk in the back with the Hydreigon here. And I think this is probably an okay lead for the most part. I like the idea of just being able to Icy Wind, put on pressure. I don't think I need Psychic Terrain to beat the Palafin, because I also have Iron Bundle and Hydreigon, which are pretty decent into it. So overall, what I'm gonna go for is like a late game Tailwind. I think that's the goal here, because like if I play Trick Room, it's a bit weird because I have to bring the Indeedee most likely, and if I bring Indeedee, that's just like one Pokemon that's kind of sitting there. It's redirecting, but like I can't really sweep with Armourouge when there is a Garganacl right there with Wide Guard. So I don't think it's worth it. We're gonna see the Iron Jugulus Arcanine, which is not too surprising. This works out huge for me. Into my Iron Bundle and my Fluttermane lead. Very nice lead here for me. Now, what are they? Are they booster energy with their bun? Oh, they're not booster energy with the... Huh. Okay. So I was expecting booster energy. I haven't seen a Assault Vest on the Iron Jugulus lately. I kind of want to Moonblast the Iron Jugulus. I also kind of want to just Hydro Pump the Arcanine. Like straight up just click Hydro Pump here. Is that risky? That's not too bad, I think. I think it's probably okay, because then you're forced to Tera to Arcanine turn 1, and that's still pretty decent for me. We're gonna see a Tera from my opponent. Okay, is this Iron Jugulus or is this Arcanine? Jugulus. Okay, Steel. Okay, not too surprising, but I don't... Well, Flash Cannon could come out if they have it. I don't know if that KOs Fluttermane in one shot. We'll see. They protect Arcanine, so I could have went for the double up here. Okay. Moonblast is still going to do some decent damage, and I did force a Tera, so it's not like awful here. Yeah, this is not awful. Moonblast into the Iron Jugulus. Takes it really well, actually. Special attack drop's really nice. Snarl? It is Snarl, so it's probably Assault Vest. Okay. Alright. The fact that Assault Vest is a bit weird. I'm going to go into Hydreigon here, I suppose, and I'm just going to go for a Protect. Do I want to Hydro Pump now? I don't need this to win. I would really like the damage to Arcanine. You know what? I'm going to go for the damage to Arcanine. Even if I have to trade my bundle for the knockout into Arcanine, I don't think this is a bad trade-off here. Because I think I get Tailwind in the Great Tusk the next turn, and I think that's really good. They switch out here. Okay, they didn't have the best swaps from what I remember. Amoonguss. Okay. I have goggles on the Hydreigon though, so it's not too bad. Here comes a Hydro Pump. Get some chip. Snarl going to come out, which is fine. All right. I don't mind this trade-off right here. It's just going to be annoying to break through the Amoonguss, I suppose. But when is it never not annoying to break through Amoonguss? All right. I'm going to go for a Snarl here. And I'm going to go for Protect with my Iron Bundle. Should I just Freeze Dry and just... Actually, I kind of just like the idea of Freeze Dry and get the damage. Even if I have to sack the bundle, I like the idea of getting Arc in for free later on. Yeah, I like that. Freeze Dry into the Amoonguss. Very solid damage. Here comes a Snarl right here. Good chip damage into both. Air Slash. Doesn't pick up a knock on Iron Bundle, which is great. And they spored my Hydreigon. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. I'm going to go for a Snarl again. Gonna protect the Iron Bundle to Scout. This could be like a Amoonguss switching out of Arcanine. Yeah, I had a feeling that they could have done this play. No, that's not Garganical? Okay, Garganical. That's fine too. It actually works out still pretty good. They're probably just snarling here, which is okay. All right. Garganical can't Tera. Again, what's looking really good is my... Oh man, my Great Tusk looks fantastic. Once it gets in, Headlong Rush, they don't have any switches. All their Pokemon are like weak to it other than like... all their Pokemon are literally weak to it. So all I gotta do is find that position. So I'm gonna Tailwind now. And I'm gonna go for a Hydro Pump into the Organical to try to put in range of the Tera Ground Headlong Rush. Even if through Intimidate. So Hydro Pump gonna come out. Very nice damage. Very nice damage. Tailwind gonna come out. Okay. And then this is from the Jugulis, gonna be the Snarl once again. Yep, Snarl Salt Cure. Maybe Recover, but I think Salt Cure makes more sense. Because I wasn't doing that much damage and they can recover the next turn potentially. Okay. Stealth Rocks. Okay. Doesn't affect my switches too much, but that does get rid of my Focus Sash on my Great Tusk, which is not super ideal, but it's like manageable. I'm going to go into Flutter Mane here for my Hydreigon because I would like to start putting on pressure, and I'm going to go for the Headlong Rush into the Iron Jugulis, which is the only Pokemon that can knock out my Great Tusk right now. So pretty good position, I'd say, for the most part. I should have checked actually. Wait, did I didn't Icy Wind ever. No, my Hydreigon was just faster than the Iron Jugulis naturally, so that's actually really good for me. Because that means I can always get a Tailwind up before the Jugulis gets a move off. And that means that I'll always have Great Tusk faster than the Jugulis. I just gotta watch out for a position where they get maybe like a Moongus next to Iron Jugulis right here. So we're gonna go into Flutter Mane. Because I want to put on pressure with like a Shadow Ball as well. Ooh, wait, they're giving me Iron Jugulis. That's so good for me. That's so good for me. I'll take it. Okay. I wonder if the Garganical has Protect or not. I mean, they should Salt Cure. I don't think you... Well, if they Protect, that's even better for me. I didn't think there was a reason to Protect. Wait, what move is it over then? So you have to have Salt Cure. I think you have to have Recover on this team. That makes more sense to me. They drop Wide Guard. I could have Expanding Force. Well, it's going to be hard against Iron Jugulis, so... But yeah, like, I had no reason not to target Iron Jugulis. I knew it was Assault Vest. They couldn't Protect here, so... Yeah, not much that they could do. Okay, let's see. That's a really nice knockout though, and now I can pressure the Amoonguss slot afterward. Yeah, the thing is, this Great Tusk in the back is gonna kind of destroy them at this rate. Arcanine gonna come in. And Long Rush should KO the Arcanine, so I think all I have to do is like trying to figure out what the best play is. I think it's just Shadow Ball the Garganical. I mean, I could also Headlong Rush the Garganical. I think Amoonguss comes in. Trying to figure about what my best play is here to cover for Amoonguss switching in here, potentially. It would be Mystical Fire, but they could stay in and Protect as well with the Arcanine attack with this. I think it's just like Shadow Ball the slot and just Headlong Rush the Arcanine isn't too bad. Okay, they do retreat the Garganical. Nice. Amoonguss should be two-shot by Destroy Spec Shadow Ball because it's like at what, 75% after the Regenerator? A little bit higher, but it's okay. They weren't Citrus Berry and they would have used it already if they had it. So Shadow Ball, like this should do about... This should do at least 40%. Yeah, I'm doing way too much. Okay, perfect. All right, good pin situation. I go for a Shadow Ball here and I go for a... Well, I don't need to Moonblast. I just Shadow Ball the Amoonguss and I go for the Headlong Rush into the Arcanine, and that should secure the game because they already used their Tera. That's the thing. They used their Tera on Jugulis, so I don't have to worry about like any other defensive Teras. And the thing is that since they Tera'd the Jugulis, the Great Tusk was just such a problem to them. It really was such a problem to them. Headlong Rush is destroying whatever's coming in. This should probably be like Amoonguss protecting, maybe? Maybe Amoonguss Protect, a Heart Swap into the Garganical. But even then, like, you're still super low at this point. We are going to see the Arcanine swap into the Garganical. Yep. Which might not go down after the Intimidate since it recovered from leftovers earlier. But even if it doesn't KO, I'm still in a very good position right here. Shadow Ball and Headlong Rush. This should do 70% at least, I would say. Or maybe it's max. Who knows? Headlong Rush. Okay, goodbye. I guess this game could go south depending on if they get a call right and a read. So the situation, Tailwind petered out. Their Arcanine has an Intimidate onto my Great Tusk, so I am actually vulnerable. Also, Flare Blitz might actually just OHKO my Great Tusk because I've gone for who knows how many Headlong Rushes at this point. So I think my best play is just to go out into Hydreigon here and Shadow Ball. Now, if they Flare Blitz my Flutter Mane, I think I win the game. If they have Play Rough, then it's a concern. But yeah, nice. Was able to just like slow down their team with Hydreigon, force a Tera, which ended up really hurting them because my Specs Flutter Mane was just putting on so much pressure. And then afterward, got in my Great Tusk and always found a way to like always have offensive momentum with Headlong Rush because they did not have a switch in after the attacks. Although if they did Sulk here with the Garganical, I think it would have been really interesting with the Great Tusk dynamic. All right, let's go over to games. Game 1 was able to put on a lot of pressure with Great Tusk and get almost every read right, while the Tera Psychic Hydreigon helped to get Tailwinds to put me in a massive advantage state. Game 2 was not expecting that combination, but Flutter Mane was able to destroy my opponent's team, thankfully, after losing my Great Tusk turn 1. Game 3, being able to knock out the Mimikyu turn 1 was amazing, and then the Volcarona, so I could set up for a solid Great Tusk endgame with the Snarl Hydreigon lowering the special attack stats of the final 2 Pokemon. Game 4 was able to force the Iron Jugulis to tear early, and then Great Tusk was able to tear through my opponent's team with no ground immunities. Tera Psychic Hydreigon actually put in some work today, which was very pleasant. Also, that Tera Electric Hydreigon we saw was also pretty cool. It's a great mon. Snarl, of course, putting on a lot of pressure. Unlike Roaring Moon, you can actually be immune to like Great Tusk attacks, which is really nice, so you don't have to tear immediately. And with this Tera type, we can resist psychic types and fighting coverage as well, which is pretty important. And Snarl for opposing side spam matchups. If you do want to try out the team, there is the rental code on your screen, and you can check out the creator and the details of the team listed down below the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content.